পড়িয়াছি আমি নাথ তব পদতারে
তব পদ্মনাথ রখিবে আমারে
তব পাদ পদ্মনাথ রাখিবে আমারে
আর রক্ষান্ত নাহি এ ভব সংসারে তব আমি তব নিত্য দাস জানিবার আমার পালন ভার এখন তোমারা আমার পালন ভার এখন তোমারা বড় দুঃখ পাইয়াছি স্বতন্ত্র জীবনে
কাদরে গেল
বদলাইয়া রমা তাপস করিলা যে পদ পাইয়া শিবা শিবতলাভিলা যে পদ লাভিয়া ব্রহ্মা কৃতার্থ হইলা যে পদ যে পদ নারদ মুনি হৃদয় ধরিলা যে সেই সে অভয় পাদ শিরেতে ধরিলা ধরিলা परमानंद नाचे पद गुण गाया संसार विपद होते अवश्य उद्धार। भक्ति विनोद पा करिबे তোমার। जय भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर जय, भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर जय, भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर जय, भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर। जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपदा जय। এখন বুঝিন প্রভু তোমার চরণে। Hare Krishna. We'll start with prayers. Om Ajnanatimindasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutat Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tvam Sajivam साधवैतम सावधूतम परिजना सहितम श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखां पितांश नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने। निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रा सुभद्राभ्याम जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। फर्स्ट कैंटो। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जय मुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Canto 1, Chapter 12. Sorry, Canto 1, Chapter 9, Verse 12. 1, 9, 12. Chapter entitled Passing Away of Bhishma Dev. And again repeating, Canto 1, Chapter 9, Verse 12. Aho kastam aho nyayam यद यूयम धर्मनंदना जीवितुं नार्हता क्लिष्टम् विप्रा धर्म अच्युत आश्रय. Any would you like to recite? अहो कष्टम अहो न्यायम. Mata, you like to recite? अहो कष्टम अहो न्यायम. Hare Krishna, what word meaning? Aho, oh, custom, what terrible sufferings. Aho, oh, anyayam, what terrible injustice. Yet, because you yam, all of you good souls, Dharmanandana, sons of religion personified, Jivitum, to remain alive, na, never, arhata, deserve, klistam, suffering, vipra, brahmanas, dharma, piety, achyuta, God, ashraya, being protected by. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace by Charnarvin Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Bhishmadev said, "Oh, what terrible suffering and what terrible injustices you good souls suffer for being the sons of religion personified. You did not deserve to remain alive under those tribulations, yet you were protected by the Brahmanas, God, and religion." Purport. Maharaj Yudhishthir was disturbed due to the great massacre in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Bhishma Deva could understand this, and therefore he spoke first of the terrible sufferings of Maharaj Yudhishthir. He was put into difficulty by injustice only, and the battle of Kurukshetra was fought just to counteract this injustice. Therefore, he should not regret the great massacre. He wanted to point out particularly that they were always protected by the Brahmanas, the Lord, and the religious principles. As long as they were protected by these three important items, there was no cause of disappointment. Thus, Bhishma Dev encouraged Maharaj Yudhishthir to dissipate his despondency. As long as a person is fully in cooperation with the wishes of the Lord, guided by the bona fide Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, and strictly following religious principles, one has no cause for despondency. However, trying the circumstances of life, Bhishma Dev, as one of the authorities in the line, wanted to impress this point upon the Pandavas. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Uh, I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, especially senior Vaishnavas like Dinesh Prabhu, so that we can speak something in Parampara. So, so this particular time which is going on, this particular month. So this whole month is the time when actually all the major events of the Kurukshetra war, Mahabharat, took place. You know? So I think on 1 December we celebrated Gita Jayanti when Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita, and then we had 18 days of war. And I think that till now the war would have been over. And I think Bhishma Deva is going to leave the body on Makar Sankranti, which is going to come after 2 weeks. So I think this is the time, this period which is going on, and Vishnu must be lying there, and all the despotency will be going on, and Krishna bringing Pandavas to Bhishma Dev. I think all this happened in this particular time frame, the end of the war, and Bhishma Dev, and finally leaving the body on Makar Sankranti, and that's why I thought that on this particular time, let us discuss something from Mahabharat, that what lessons we can learn on this auspicious day. So, uh, so I'll be mainly speaking like Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, last 1 week he took some very wonderful sessions on this particular topic. So I'll be referring some of the points from his lecture. So in this world, there is a tendency in a living entity, especially in the scientific world, to very nicely correlate or map the cause and effect. You know, because people want everything logical, logical things which make sense, things which are logical, scientific, and that's why people want everything. Okay, this happened because of this. If I do this, this should happen. You know? If something is going wrong, that means I have done something. People immediately want to find some reason. Oh, maybe I have done something wrong. That's why this happened. Yes, but many times in this world, the things that doesn't correlate like that. You cannot put things as a function of y is a function of f of x. Here y is the effect and x is the cause. So so always you cannot find a f function where you can put effect as a function of cause. Many of times it doesn't happen. Many a times the effect may be a very complex conjunction and very complex outcome of many causes. And if you go back to trace that why it happened, what is the actual reason for it, what is the good thing which we can derive from it, you will be completely perplexed. And that's why many a times this world looks a place of confusion. And and this is the reason which gives a lot of pump to the atheist, because atheists claim that oh, you theist people, can you, prove logically that this world is a very ordered place? Because if you think that there is a creator, there is a maintainer, then this world should be an orderly place. But many a times this world doesn't look like. Yes, and that's why. Okay, so that can be at the level of philosophy, but at the personal level, sometimes the things can be very devastating. Yes, the life events, the way things are unfolding in the life of a person, sometimes it can be very challenging. Yes, uh, challenging to such an extent that a person may even lose the meaning to life. He may not even like to live also. Yes, because he finds there is no meaning to life, and life is a very haphazard thing. Life is a very uncertain thing. Yes, why to live such a life? Yeah. So so that's why when Lord Krishna comes to this world through his pure devotees like Pandavas, and that's why here Bhishma Deva is saying that you are the sons of religion personified. So how come you got underwent it? So that's why Krishna enact such a pastime. Krishna enacts such a, because we think that Leela means it should be very sweet, happy, happy starting, happy middle, and happy ending. That we consider as Leela. Yes, but Krishna enacts the Leela in such a way, where this haphazardness, this uncertainty, it touches the peak, spikes. The kind of uncertainty, haphazardness, injustice, or whatever we can say, which happened in the life of Pandavas, can anybody ever imagine? And that's why Krishna take it to the pinnacle, because example means it should be pinnacle. Somebody sets any example. Example means other people should be below that. That's the meaning of example, and that's why Krishna enacts such pastime. So in order to explain what happened with the Pandavas, we will be using an acronym, which Chaitanya Prabhu he uses, ACT, ACT, how to act in such situation. So first A is appreciate. So what is the appreciation? A for appreciation means first of all we should have the full faith, especially as a devotee, that this world is being governed by Krishna. You know, everything which we do, everything which happened to us, Everything is within the realm of Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabho. Or in, I think, Bhagavad Gita 9.3, Krishna speaks, yeah. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. Mat sthani sarva bhutani na chaham teshva avasthita. Everything is within me. And whatever is happening, everything is Krishna only. Krishna or his energy. Everything. Every matter is Krishna. Yes. Krishna is so much connected that in every atom, in every living entity, Krishna is residing. So there is not a single activity. There is not a single disturbance. There is not a single fluctuation in this material world which Krishna doesn't know. And how to know that? Suppose my body is there. Now any fluctuation which happens in the, suppose you touch me little bit also, I will be immediately aware. Huh? If you little bit touch me, I'm immediately aware. You touch my any part of the body, toe, hands, hair, anything. Immediately the person becomes aware. So in Bhagavatam it says the whole universe is Krishna's body. And that's why one of the name is universal body. So body in the sense anything happen within the body, Krishna will know it. Just like if anything happen on the surface of the body, anything happen inside the body, we have gas, we have acid, everything we are aware something is happening, all these things are happening. So whatever happens within the universe, Krishna is fully aware of it, exactly aware. So first of all we should appreciate this point. And then we say that we are part and parcel of Krishna. Okay, Tattva point of view, we explain it. That soul is a part and parcel of Krishna. But one of the practical application of this verse, that we are all part and parcel of Krishna, is that we are all part and parcel of Krishna's plan. We are part and parcel of Krishna's plan. So this is one very important application of it. Yes. So that means Krishna is aware of each soul's undergoing, what they are undergoing. And Krishna has a perfect plan for each and every living entity. And that's why Krishna, there is one Paramatma for every soul. Can we ever imagine? It could have happened that Krishna may be just so Krishna Paramatma form of Krishna is such a merciful form that for every soul there is one Paramatma. And why is it that for every soul there is one Paramatma? It's a very unique thing. For every soul, like even in our counseling system, it doesn't happen. In one counselor there are many counsellors. Under one GBC there are many temples. But for every soul there is one GBC. Can you imagine? GBC of Krishna, governing body commission. So for every soul there is one Krishna. Why? Because every soul has its own story. Every soul undergoes its own journey. And Krishna has a unique plan or a unique way of rectifying that living entity in a very unique way. And that's why every soul has its own karma. So that's why first is A. A means appreciate. Appreciate that although the world may look very uncertain, but Krishna has a plan. And that's why Prabhupada in that famous verse, Om Purnam Idam Purnam, he argues that this world doesn't look Purnam. We say this world is Purnam. Purnam is complete in itself. And Prabhupada says that in the very first paragraph of the purport, Prabhupada argues, but this world doesn't look like Purnam. This word's like Apurna, Adhuri Kahani. That I think there used to be one serial, Adhuri Prem Kahani. That things are like Adhura. Things are incomplete. Things look very incomplete. But Prabhupada says, if you look at one angle, this world will look complete. What is that angle? This world is meant for a spiritual upliftment of a living entity, to rectify the enjoying mentality of a jiva and place it into back to Godhead. If you look from this angle, the world is complete. Yes. So like hospital. So hospital may look very haphazard place. If you go to a hospital, you find some nurse is running, somebody is saying, some blood is spilling, some cotton man, somebody is crying, somebody is whipping, something here. Some doctor is treating, and sometimes the treatment may look very woe. He's removing something. And the things may look completely haphazard. We may not make any sense for it. But we should have full faith that if it's a bona fide hospital, then some good is going to come. All this haphazardness, all this crying, weeping, bloods, and all the operations, which may look very uncertain, and it may look very dirty, and all those things, is ultimately leading to a something good. And what is that good? Good is the treatment of the disease and regaining of the good health. And that's why first A is what? Have a devotee should have perfect that. Okay, okay, I cannot make sense of anything. Things are looking very haphazard. There is no correlation between cause and effect. But I have full faith that I am under Krishna's plan. I am within Krishna's body. Krishna personally is with me in his Paramatma form, and I have the unique Krishna who only has to deal with me. He doesn't have to deal with my Paramatma, has to deal only with me. My Paramatma doesn't have to deal with anybody else. And that's why first is appreciate. Because unless we appreciate, we cannot move further. And that's why one of the question which often is very common in devotee community, how we fell from the spiritual world. This question is a very common and very common answer which many devotees give, and what Prabhupada also gave is that first of all try to get up and go there, then you will understand. So that's why, and that's why Krishna in the 9th chapter, when he's starting, he's saying to Arjuna that two qualities you need to understand this Rajvidya. What are two qualities? Faith and non-envy. So why faith and non-envy? Because without faith and non-envy, the outermost gate of house will not only open. How will you see the bedroom? Now you say that ये कैसा घर है ना? यहाँ पे तो खाली मिट्टी मिट्टी गार्डन गार्डन दिख रहा है. अरे भाई पहले have faith. Open the gate. Inside a very luxurious bedroom is waiting for you. है ना? A very tiles marble washroom is waiting for you to use. Yes, but you will not be able to access the bedroom and the washroom until you have a faith that कि इस घर में है ना. With the faith you have to open the gate first. From the outside only, like I remember that mostly the government quarters, they are not painted for a long time and they look very shabby from outside generally. So I am currently working in a government job. So first time, like one of my friend told, living in quarter is very good in Bangalore. Bangalore is very costly, and the type of space they will give you, the type of facility they will give you, it is good. So I went to see the quarter for the first time, and I saw it's looking like some bhoot bangla. Then I said, "My God, are you mad? We will live in this." And then he said, "First of all, एक बार देख तो लो." And then that my friend took me, and I found inside it is very good. It is much better than living in any of the rented house in a medium range. Yes, and there's a good space, and it was well. Only from outside they didn't. They have some policy. Once in a 10 years they will paint or something like that, and that's why things are very shabby from outside. But from inside it was good. So that's why Krishna says what? Faith and appreciate. So that's why Krishna told Arjuna, first you appreciate that I am Supreme Personality of Godhead, don't envy me. That's why non-envy and faith. Because non-envy and faith, these two open the first gate of the house. And if the person doesn't have faith and he is non-envy, then even the first gate will not only open. And how will the person be able to access luxurious bed, tiles, washrooms? All these things will be inaccessible. And that's why Krishna says what? पहले थोड़ा faith रखना पड़ेगा अर्जुना. And that's why spiritual knowledge requires first faith. Yes. So that's why first A is what? Appreciate. Krishna must have certain plan. Like sometimes the mothers they have that famous hobby. Many ladies do. They make on a cloth. They will make certain patterns, and using that thread and needle, some flower pattern, something they will make. If you see the cloth from behind, it will look very shabby. एक थ्रेड पता नहीं कहां कहां से थ्रेड गया है. It's look like some Maggie, है ना, kind of thing. You cannot make any sense of it. But if you turn it, the perfect pattern. The same thing happens sometime in our life. Sometimes why this is happening, why that is happening, we don't know. But on a transcendental plane, a beautiful flower is being formed. Although from our vision, the back vision, we are seeing everything haphazard. And so first A is appreciate. Without this appreciation, one cannot move forward. And then the next C is cultivate or connect. So what is the next C? Next C is, okay, we appreciate, but then while living in this world, there is something which we can also do. Yes, we understand that Krishna is doing something nice, but we should also understand Krishna most of the time he do nice through us only. So so Krishna doesn't act in a way that Krishna has a plan and Jiva is passive. Jiva just is observer of Krishna's plan. अरे क्या हो रहा है, अब कृष्णा क्या करेंगे, है ना, मेरा तो सब कुछ बर्बाद हो गया है ना, अब और क्या बर्बाद करेंगे कृष्ण, मैं देखता हूं थोड़ा बैठ के, है ना. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट, है ना. यस. So Jiva is not a passive observer in the Krishna's plan. Rather, Jiva is a active participant in the Krishna's plan. Although everything is done for the Jiva, but Krishna do in such a way so that the Jiva also becomes the active participant in Krishna's plan. So Jiva is not a passive observer. And that's why after we appreciate that Krishna is going to do something good, Krishna has some good plan for me, although things are looking hazy. So next C is what? What is my part? What Krishna want? That's why cultivate and connect. So and that's why in the purport Krishna is saying what? Prabhupada is saying what? As long as one cooperate with the Krishna's plan. So although the Pandavas' life was completely hellish from the worldly point of view, but what were Pandavas doing during that time? They were cooperating with Krishna's plan. कि कृष्णा का क्या प्लान है. And that's why next C is what? Cultivate and connect. Ki what is my role within the whole hafalana? There's something which I can do. Yes. And that's why in the cultivation, one of the things which Krishna has gifted every jiva is what? Guna and karma. Guna karma vibhagasha. And that's why every jiva has to see कि every jiva is planted with certain guna and karma. We cannot say that I am a useless person, I am not gifted with any guna and karma. Every jiva has certain guna and karma. Guna is what? Guna is what brings you interest in a certain work, and karma is what gives you competence to do that work. Yes. So these are the two factors which Krishna says, and that's why as a being the part and parcel of Krishna, we can see that what guna and karma when a Krishna has given me, by which I can become the active part of Krishna's plan. Yes. So there is some guna, everybody has some guna which is correlated with the interest, means I want to do it, I like to do it, we feel satisfied by doing it. And karma means what? I'm able to do it, I have certain skill set to do it, and that is what? Karma. Yes. And that's why we see in the Pandavas life, see the Pandavas, although they were thrown to forest, exile and everything happened, but each of the Pandavas, they had certain guna and karma, and that was completely variegated. For example, Arjuna had what? Archery. You know, it is a very skillful job to do archery. Bhima had what? Power. See, now these two are very very different. What Bhima had and what Arjuna had. What Arjuna had, it doesn't require so much of power, rather than it's a skill. You have to be very careful, you have to like learn the strategy, where to hit and all that. But Bhima, he doesn't have to think much, he doesn't have to plan कि कैसे मारना है, गदा को उठा के दे दो, कस के एक, so it was more of a power, it was more of a muscle power. But Arjuna had more of a skill, this was more of a skill set. And this Yudhishthir Maharaj was more of a, he was a very wise person. Yes. So you will find that Pandavas never compared with each other. Each of them had certain skill set, and they were using that in Krishna's plan. Like Yudhishthir Maharaj will use his wisdom. No, we should not kill at this time. Bhima, please stop. Don't become overwhelmed. Yes. And then Bhima will use his power. No, I take vow that I will break Duryodhan's thigh on which he made to sit Draupadi. He was asking to sit Draupadi. And Arjuna was cultivating his own. He will get up till late night. He will acquire so many weapons. He fought with even, he got Pashupati, Astra. So they were doing that. So even when Pandavas were in exile, they were not just a passive observer. कि चलो अब भगवान ने मेरे जीवन में ऐसा कर दिया है, चलो बैठ के देखते हैं और भगवान क्या करना बाकी रह गया, राज्य तो चला गया, द्रौपदी का चीरहरण हो ही गया, अब और क्या बाकी है भगवान, देखते हैं. No, they were active part of Krishna's plan, even while in the forest. So it is said that most of the weapons which Pandavas collected, which was very useful in the war, they were collected during the exile period. Many of the things, many of the things, even the Pandavas, winning, Arjuna winning Draupadi, it all happened during off period. So they were not just the past. So Pandavas didn't only did the first A, appreciate. They had appreciation in Krishna, but they were also cultivating. What is my role in Krishna's plan? Yes, and that's why, although the world may look haphazard, but we all can do something. And that's why in today's scenario, especially, although our life may be, we are Kalyuga products. We have back pain, this pain, that pain, stomach problem, this problem, that problem, job problem, family problem, so much of problem. But we all have the chance to use our guna and karma in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. This is one thing which we can all do. Although our life may look completely haphazard, पर जी job नहीं लग रहा है, लड़की नहीं मिल रही है, बच्चे नहीं हो रहे हैं, है ना? We may have, back pain शुरू हो गया, ये pain शुरू हो गया, वो है ना, कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, दुनिया क्या है ना? ये है, वो है. But we all have one chance. What is that? We can use our specific guna and karma in Krishna's service. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very beautifully said that generally people think that in a spiritual organization, everybody is like a clay. Clay, कि clay को कैसे भी mold कर दो, तो किसी भी devotee को कैसे भी कर दो, है ना, यानी कि प्रभु जी आप इसमें लग जाओ, उसमें लग जाओ. But he told it's a wrong philosophy. We are not clay. Each of us are like seed. Seed in the sense कि each devotee is like a seed. It's not that when you put a seed and you put certain ml of water or certain amount of air or certain amount of sunshine, from different seed, different plants will grow. Some will have mango, which is very sweet. Some will have orange, which is citrus. है ना. Somebody will have pungent, है ना, somebody will have different rasa. So that's why we should see that which seed I am. You know? It's not that, you know, everybody can become a mango. We can become lychee. We can become, you know, guava. We can become pomegranate. You know? So we should see that. And that's why we see that when Krishna. So I remember in our, Kolkata temple, they used to offer every evening. They used to offer fruits. Fruit was the, main item, evening snacks for Krishna to take, and they will have variety of fruits. You'll send some fives, है ना, guava भी है, केला भी है, ये भी है, वो भी है ना. So much of variety will be there, and that's why we should see that which seed I am, and we have a role in Krishna's, offering. Somebody has one katori of aam is there, then we can also put our own katori. One katori of guava for you, Krishna. Somebody can come. Oh no, Krishna, you had now, winter is going on. Pomegranate, है ना? And this that. So we should see that this seed we are. So we have certain role, है ना? And sometimes when the world is haphazard, we even have a role in rectifying that. You know? So each devotee should not only think that, okay, we have to just kind of. So one thing which we are taught is that, okay, Krishna consciousness is the only solution. But a devotee should also be aware of the material haphazardness. And that's why I don't say that devotees should try to seek shelter in the material rectification. But a devotee can give spiritual solution for the material rectification. And that's why we can think that, do I have a role to set right the things in this world? Using, the spiritual principles. And that's why Srila Prabhupada gave many spiritual principles to rectify the world. And so even Srila Prabhupada was very much, he will comment, why the world is going in this direction, why the people are suffering. He will, why the price is rising, why, this is happening, that is happening. And then Prabhupada will be worried about it. But Prabhupada will give the spiritual solution. And that's why the C is what? Cultivate. Do I have some role? And that's why we find that those devotees who are very busy in their specific role in seva, sometimes they get very less affected by the ups and downs of the world. Those who are sitting idle, as a passive observer, अरे मेरे जीवन में ऐसा हो गया, वैसा हो गया, sometimes they are the people who get most affected. And those devotees who have recognized, identified a certain seva to connect to Krishna. You know? So even if the things happen, here and there, so like we have one pujari in Mayapur. Yeah? It is said that Radheshyam was once telling. So once I remember that means sadhana card, prizes were given. So I got sadhana card prize. That means this sadhana, getting up in the morning and those things. So once I told to Radheshyam Prabhu that Prabhuji, I am becoming proud that many of the time I got sadhana award. So Radheshyam Prabhu immediately told, hey, useless fellow, what is your sadhana? You want to know what is the sadhana? He told that there's one pujari in Mayapur. Since last 20 years, there's not a single day when he got up later than 3:30 a.m. Single day. Even in high fever of 102, he has taken cold bath and he came for the puja seva. So Radheshyam Prabhu was telling, what is this sadhana award? It's like, Andher Nagri Chaupat Raja, among so many so many people who sometimes misses morning program. You are the person given prize because you miss the morning program least amount of time. That is the meaning of sadhana award. So among these people, why you are thinking? If you want to come in the battlefield of sadhana, you should face Drona, Bhishma, Karna. These people are the actual competent people. Yes. So then he gave it. So then really, I really watered down. I was just thinking, my God, 20 years में एक बार भी है ना, that person didn't get up later than 3:30 a.m. cold bath every day coming for puja. It's very difficult thing. We cannot even imagine it. Yes. That's why, and Prabhuji was later telling in his life so many ups and downs came, but he has recognized one seva. Ki for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, huh, I have one seva to every day offer puja and archana to Panchatattva. है ना? And no matter what up and down haphazardness came, that one connection never broke. And that's why that happened in the life of many Prabhupada disciples. Although our ISKCON society underwent so many ups and downs, so much of transformation, so many things underwent. But each Srila Prabhupada disciple was like one seed. Each Srila Prabhupada disciple had a specific connection with Srila Prabhupada through some specific project or seva. And through that connection, they were well protected, even in the whole ups and downs of the life. And that's why the C is what? That don't just passively appreciate Krishna's plan, but cultivate a specific connection through service, through sadhana, through something which will, through which, we become active part of Krishna's plan. That's second C. And the last T I would like to speak. Last T is transcendence. Transcendence in the sense कि okay, है ना, we appreciate that Krishna has some plan, we become active part of it, but ultimately, है ना, this world is going to hell at the end of the day. We may rectify it, we may do anything. Ultimately, we have to give up this world at the end. We have to ultimately go to transcendence. That's why T for transcendent or target. That while you are doing your part in Krishna's plan, don't forget that goal is to return back to him. We just don't want to spend our time keep rectifying the world or keep, ultimately we have to play our part, but while playing our part, the target is what? Krishna. We have to ultimately go to him. Yes, because no matter how much you rectify this world, how much what you at what, ultimately the nature of the world, dukhalyam asashvatam, will not change. Like coal is there. No matter how much you keep rubbing the coal, the blackness will not go away. Because the intrinsic nature of the coal is to be black. Yes? No matter what you do, you put into water, you wash it with surf excel, coal will remain black only. So similarly, this world, we have washroom. Now washroom, we may make lot of plan how to keep washroom clean. Below we have one washroom. So temple has certain plan. Okay, 2 times cleaning, okay, we should make washing area in that place so that it doesn't get dirty. We can make so much of plan to keep a bathroom clean. Ultimately, it will remain dirty. That's the nature of that place. Ultimately, it will remain dirty only. So the goal is to do your duties in the bathroom and come out. That's the ultimate goal. Yes, and that's why while we are, and that's why there are some people who get so much of caught up in this world. Prabhuji ऐसा क्यों? See, many people have this question. Prabhuji ऐसा कैसे हो गया? प्रभु ये डिवोटी तो बहुत अच्छा सेवा कर रहा था, इसके जीवन में ऐसा कैसे हो गया? It is because we are attached to the world. We are attached to the forms of the world. We are attached to the details of the world. Ultimately, through all the seva which we do in this world, ultimately through all the contribution we do to the mission of Srila Prabhupada, ultimate goal is what? Krishna Prem. That is what Srila Prabhupada has taught us. And that's why Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj, he did so much of contribution, But in the end, when he was leaving the body, yes, he made a very profound statement. He told, if anybody asks me to replace this deadly cancer with anything of this world, I will not replace it. If somebody says that, okay, I will give you 1 crore, give me this disease, I will not give it. Somebody say, okay, you are suffering from cancer, I will make you the GBC of this area, give me this disease, he says, I will not give this disease. Because why? Because within this disease, the amount of Krishna I am tasting, the depth of Krishna I am tasting, I have never tasted in my whole life. Yes. And that's why, even all our great acharyas, they have done a lot of contribution to the mission and everything, but they were very, clear that ultimately we all have to go to Krishna. And that's why when the haphazardness happen in this world, when the things are, even in the spiritual circle, the seva which we are doing, sometimes haphazardness may happen in that. Through many years of our energy, we have cultivated a certain project or certain things, and something may happen into it. But we should know that everything, that ultimately the goal is to transcend. And transcend also means that while we are doing our seva in this world, we are so much aware of details. किसने क्या बोला, है ना, किसने क्या किया, दूसरों को अच्छा लग रहा है कि नहीं लग रहा है ना. Suppose when we are giving Bhagavatam class, we are so much aware of the image कि है ना, अच्छा लगना चाहिए दूसरों को, है ना, and all that. But after a certain time, transcend means what? That we should start doing our seva in such a manner that worldly and social outlook doesn't matter much. है ना? That and that's why we will see that there are, like I remember that one class of Radha Govind Maharaj. Radha Govind Maharaj was giving class to a very wide number of people. And then some mosquitoes were, coming and biting Maharaj head and all those things. And Maharaj in between the lecture only he removed his gamcha and he told कि बहुत मच्छर काट रहा है ना, हम सोच रहे हैं कि क्यों ना ये गमछा अपने सर पे बांध ले, है ना, ताकि, है ना, मच्छर ना काटे and all these things, है ना. So we see that after a certain amount of time, there are many speakers, like you see many Prabhupada disciples, when they give lecture, I have seen that they are not so much of aware of that body language, मैं कैसा बोल रहा हूँ, है ना, और मैं कैसा कर रहा हूँ. They just want to connect to Krishna. Radheshyam Prabhu was telling, in his childhood, he saw one blind person giving Krishna Katha. He was speaking about Krishna's childhood pastime. He was completely blind. He was just closing his eyes. He was completely old. He was not able to speak properly. But when he was speaking, tears were coming from his eyes. And he is not even looking कि कितने लोग बैठे हैं, कोई सुन भी रहा है कि नहीं सुन रहा है ना, मैं कैसा बोल रहा हूँ. So ultimately, cultivate, when we cultivate our active part in Krishna's plan within this world, transcend also means that gradually we should transcend the social and worldly outlook of that seva. कि लोग क्या सोच रहे हैं, मेरा इमेज क्या है ना, किसी ने अप्रिशिएट किया कि नहीं किया है कि नहीं, इसको वो रिकॉग्नाइज होगा कि नहीं होगा, इसका क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ा, क्या इस प्रोजेक्ट का कोई सम सिग्निफिकेंट रिजल्ट आया कि नहीं आया. Sometimes we are so much after it. But transcend also means that after certain spiritual elevation, we should start doing this seva in our connection with Krishna. We should see Krishna's connection. Yes, we should target Krishna through that seva, and then the worldly outlook and the social outlook will gradually become diminished. Yes, and that's why T means what? Target and transcend. We have to ultimately transcend this world. And ultimately we have to analyze that. And that's why Srila Prabhupada, when he was living, see, Prabhupada has built up ISKCON. ISKCON was yet very new during that time, Prabhupada. And Prabhupada, being a pure devotee are also known as, they are Trikaladarshi. They know past, present and future. Prabhupada knew that after I will leave, there is going to be so much of turmoil. Prabhupada knew that. But When Prabhupada was leaving this world, what was the mood of Srila Prabhupada? Kuchu ichha nahi. I have done my part. My part is done. And that's why he told to his disciple, then now your part starts. My part is done. In this ISKCON mission, I had a part to establish it, to be the founder Acharya. I have done my part. Now your part remains. My mercy is there, my blessings is there, my books are there. So, so that's why can you imagine a CEO? A CEO, he established a very new company. Still, the company is undergoing the foundational growth. And if the person becomes take cancer or is going to die, do you think that CEO will be able to die with peace? भाई एक साल और दे दो, कम से कम कंपनी को एक स्टेबल पोजीशन पे ला देते हैं, सब कुछ को ठीक कर देते हैं, माय एम्प्लॉइज आर स्टिल इमेच्योर, है ना, लेट मी ट्रेन देम. बट प्रॉपर नहीं हूं कि मेरे को कृष्णा ने जो बोला था मैंने कर दिया, है ना. बुक्स आर रिटन, है ना, फाउंडेशनल policies are established, and that's why Prabhupada left. And that's why you find, whichever Maharaj left, Bhakti Tirth Maharaj, etc. They told, till the time Krishna allowed me, I have done my part. And that's why, while doing their seva, they are constantly targeting Krishna Prem. That's the goal. And that's why T means what? Target and transcend. And so, in this ACT act, if all these three properly applied, even in this haphazard world, we can find some meaning. Even in this haphazard world, we can, proceed towards the meaningful rectification of the soul. Yes, and that's why one of the things which mainly hurt us when things go wrong, when things are haphazard, is that because of the enjoying mentality. Yes, because we don't want rectification. Because see, many times rectification means spilled. Like for example, you to clean this temple. So now those devotees. So I remember that sometimes in my earlier voice days, sometimes devotees will tell me कि है ना प्रभु जी cleaning करना है या है ना महा cleaning है ये सब है. Sometimes we will try to skip it, है ना, but sometimes we will be there also. तो हम लोग तो पता है what I used to do is, suppose there used to be one devotee who was very much cleaning है ना conscious. So he will say to clean, so especially that Almira part or those parts are there, I will quickly clean it and tell कि प्रभु जी वो हो गया है ना चलो, because I knew that if he comes, he will ask to remove the whole Almira. फिर उसके पीछे उसको हटाओ, उसको फिर रखो, उतना झंझट कौन करेगा. So what I used to do, those such spots I used to know, है ना, कि अगर उसको क्लीन करने में बहुत मेहनत लगता है, I should quickly do something. प्रभु जी वो हो गया है, आप छोड़ो ना, बाकी सब देखते हैं. No? So somehow trying to skip the detailed cleaning. Why? Because detailed cleaning will require so much of effort, so much of haphazardness. उसको जैसे हटाएंगे पीछे बहुत गंदगी है. Everybody knows, है ना? Yes. So much of cleaning will be needed, and all those things will be needed. So one of the things that why a jiva gets so much of affected many a times by the haphazardness of this world, because he want to continue his enjoying plan in this world. And the haphazardness is breaking that plan. Yes, and that's why many a times we may not even be able to see कि through our efforts some constructive है. Like one Prabhupada, I was there in Singapore, so one Prabhupada disciple had come. है ना, one devotee was asking question कि प्रभु जी मेरे लाइफ में ऐसा हो गया वैसा हो गया, मैंने शादी किया तो डाइवोर्स हो गया, है ना, मैंने जॉब लिया तो जॉब छूट गया, फिर मैं पीएचडी करने का सोचा तो पीएचडी में भी मेरे को है ना सही प्रोजेक्ट नहीं मिला, है ना, प्रभु जी ऐसा है वैसा है. And do you know that Prabhupada disciple, he sat on the Vyasasana and he told, let me tell you one story, है ना. And he was narrating a story. He was telling कि and then after the story got completed, he told it's my story. He told, I married a lady, है ना. After 10 years I found that she is a lesbian, है ना, homosexual, and that's why I got divorced, है ना. Then I got again again married, and in that also some problem came. है ना? I had a child, है ना? He betrayed me. For Prabhupada mission, I tried to make one project, and after 30 years of investment in that project ultimately collapsed. है ना? And then he was telling so many things in his life. He told, I got cancer also, I got this also, I had this operation, I had that operation. And after telling all that thing, he asked, do you think you have more problem than me? And then that devotee told him. And do you know that Prabhupada disciple made a very wonderful comment? Do you know what he told? He told, but you know that through all this thing, he told that in my life, there is not a single thing in which I can put my possession कि चलो ये तो मैंने अच्छे से किया है ना or this thing worked out or this thing is giving result. I established it is giving result. Nothing. Whether you say spiritual projects, material relationship, material this and everything collapsed. But he told through all these things, at least my false ego got diminished. At least I got surrendered to Srila Prabhupada. At least I came to realize that this material world is a miserable place. At least I came to realize that I belong to Krishna. At least I came to realize that ultimately I have to go back to Krishna. And he told my life is successful. He told I am successful. I am a successful person. Maybe my maybe his photo can be put in Times Magazine, most successful person of this decade or something like that. I am successful because है ना इस वर्ल्ड का जो मोटिव था कृष्णा ने जिस चीज के लिए ये वर्ल्ड बनाया है वो पूरा हो गया है ना कृष्णा ने ये पूरी दुनिया किस लिए बनाई है ठीक है आपने मैंने इवन विद इन इस्कॉन आई ट्राई टू डू सम प्रोजेक्ट एंड इट कोलैप्स्ड ओके आई एक्सेप्टेड बट व्हाई प्रभुपाद हैज मेड इस्कॉन है ना so that each and every member can get Krishna मतलब कि है ना he can get Krishna he can realize the nature of this world he told me it happened in my life and that's why I consider that my है ना my stay in ISKCON my stay in this world is successful done है ना he didn't get disturbed because so when you look your life from that angle है ना in that direction am I moving towards Krishna how much Krishna I am getting है ना so then we will gradually transcend success failure है ना good bad gold pebbles all these things will gradually transcend and we will find meaning to this world we will find meaning to Srila Prabhupada's mission है ना we will find meaning to our spiritual life so with this message we would like to end today's class with this note that may Krishna give us the this direction that when thing so although spoken big words small mouth big words but I'll say that to apply it is very difficult personally very honestly speaking in my life when haphazardness comes my god it's very difficult to handle it practically I start cursing I start doubting so this is my fallen condition so but uh, so that's why we pray to Lord that please give us the strength that when things don't look haphazard sorry when things look haphazard things don't look so clear when spiritual life looks very vague when we feel lost in the spiritual life oh Lord please give us a strength to first of all have a faith that we are your part and parcel and Krishna you are our best well wisher you will certainly do good and second Krishna give me some meaningful seva through which I can connect with you because I have certain guna and karma so please make me an active part of your mission yes especially the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that is another prayer and third prayer to Lord is that okay Lord whatever may happen to me but ultimately through all these happenings whether good or bad bring me close to you please give me that taste of your sweetness your prema so that I can ultimately come back to you. So this, with these three prayers, I end today's class. Hare Krishna. Ah, yes. Hmm. Hmm. Yes. Yudhishthira Maharaj. Ah, yes. Will of the Lord. Ultimate goal. Yes, Prabhuji. Clay. Ah, seed. Seed. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. No, but seed. I didn't say that seed is like that. Ah, yes, yes. Ah, yes. Ah, in the market. Mm. Ah, yes. Oof. So, Pro, I'll like to answer the question in three aspects. So, the first aspect is कि in the, especially for the devotees who are coming new to Krishna consciousness, you know. So many a times in the mode of passion, you know, see, to recognize guna and karma, to recognize guna and karma, first of all, in the mode of passion, you know, the vision is very hazy. You know. So a person may identify a certain glittering thing as his guna and karma, which may not be. You know. So that's why, first of all, you know, I remember many devotees coming to Krishna consciousness, and they think that, when they see people like Amog Leela Prabhu, Gaur Gopal Prabhu, they think, this is this is my guna and karma, and this is what I want to be. So first of all, things are very hazy, and that's why even in the gurukuls, even in the Vedic gurukuls, yes, there was not a concept where a person used to tell that this is my guna and karma. This particular fashion has come in Kali Yuga only, where a person himself declares that this is my guna and karma. This is not the culture, Prabhuji. This is not the culture of Vedic culture. In Vedic culture, never a person himself tells. He is recognized by the guru, है ना. And generally the child's like for example कि currently I had a child, है ना. So then the child had their own. So then, sometime he will play, he will be naughty, I'll get worried, maybe he will not become devotee, he's naughty. And then he will then my wife and my relatives and my many devotee senior devotee that told me, "Arey, you are very immature person, his nature is to play, he will be immature, he will be naughty, that's the nature of a child, why don't you accept it, so then I told him, Prabhuji, but if he will be naughty, then how will he become a devotee? so, but that's the nature. So many a times, guna, what is guna and karma of a child? So now he's a small child. I cannot tell. Now he's just lost in his play. Similarly, when the youth comes, he's lost into नहीं होता thrill. इसको एक्सप्लोर करना है, उसको एक्सप्लोर करना है, इस कॉलेज में जाना है, क्या नहीं है. So many of the times the guna and karma is somewhere behind the curtain of the passion and ignorance. It requires certain goodness, and that's why the things are cultivated mainly. You know, the things Guru cultivates, Guru sees. Like for example, ki this Arjuna and Eklavya. That's what the difference. Eklavya was self-acclaimed guna and karma. Ak- that's the Eklavya. He declared himself as certain guna and karma. But Arjuna, he was pointed out by Dronacharya actually recognized his talent. He saw that this person is able to do these things nicely. So that's the one thing. And in the Vedic Gurukul, since there was a lot of mode of goodness, and even a person gradually was able to recognize his guna and karma properly. But I will say that in current scenario, it's you are right, Prabhu, because of so much of influence of social media, this that we may misidentify our guna and karma. I fully agree with it. Because I at least I can tell about myself, है ना कि when I was student preparing for IIT JEE, at that time my do you know what I used to think? I have to become like I'll first crack IIT, then I will go to IIM Ahmedabad, you know, and then after IIM Ahmedabad, you know, I had some other plan. Then I will go. I will do this. I will do that. I'll make so much of money, and this will happen. That will happen. But when I entered actually, that realm of deep studies, physics, chemistry, math deeply. I then, as I entered IIT, I found that my guna and karma is more intellectual, scientific, rather than making money. And my whole perspective, career path only changed. I thought that, my God, what is this IIM and all this thing, MBA and those things, अगर असली में जिंदगी में कुछ करना है तो फिजिक्स में PhD करो, एस्ट्रोफिजिक्स, पार्टिकल फिजिक्स, ये असली चीजें हैं. And then I met one of my friend who was preparing for me from IIT JEE. He told me, तू तो IIM में जाने वाला था, क्या है तो क्या फिजिक्स विजिक्स के चक्कर में पड़ गया है. तो है ना, even he was surprised. He used to talk about money, and opening company and all those things. So it changed. So that's why it requires some goodness and contemplation. So that's the first part, bro. Second part, that even the guna and karma is identified. Even. So it is said that passion means to flow, but goodness gives the direction where to flow. So guna and karma. Guna means what? It gives me interest. I like to do. And karma means the competence. Okay. But if the guna and karma, it's like water. If the water is not held in a pipe, the water will simply splash out, causing destruction. And that's why you need or a mentor to give that pipe where to flow that guna and karma. Otherwise, guna and karmas can simply be splashed to gain name and fame, even if it is recognized. And that's why I remember that once Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, so uh, we went to, I think long ago, we had gone to GV, for some camp and those things. I think recently devotees also went. So, so there, many devotees who were part of GV foundational courses, they were telling initially Gaurang Prabhu, he was the head. So Gaurang Prabhu used to make them. So when he was starting that Vidyapeeth, so he was making them, like there used to be a part where they have to like write courses, design courses, how the courses will run, training people. But there was a huge amount of training on the part of like doing menial seva, setting their attitude, because once that knowledge part will grow, so it will say that Gaurang Prabhu was very careful that when that knowledge part will glow, are they having the right attitude to handle it? Although the guna and karma is not to do all those things, making bricks in GV initially, many devotees, including Gaurang Darshan Prabhu, they used to make bricks. It is and it is not guna and karma of Gaurang Darshan Prabhu to make bricks. You know? Yes, ideally, you know. He's the more of intellectual person, you know, devotional. So now, you know, but then why many a times Guru even if recognizes guna and karma, why he do, you know, include menial seva and many things into it? Although he know that if I simply allow this person to cultivate guna and karma, he can create wonder in this world. He can make so much of follower on YouTube. But the guru is concerned ki whether he will be able to handle it. And that's why many other things are also given. You know? And that's why clay. So that's why we are neither clay, I will say perfect clay example and perfect seed example is not right. You know? I'll say the best example is कि है ना कि the guru knows है ना कि like seed put in the right soil, the seed is there, it will give mango, but the soil, so it's both soil, clay plus seed, it's the it's both है ना, because the clay part will make sure that this person doesn't splashes out. His guna, so clay part will maintain, and that's why clay means what? Fixed structure. That's why Guru makes a certain fixed structure of clay in which the seed can grow very nicely. And that's why certain things are clay. And that's why disciple, so when we say disciple, so disciple in the sense discipline. That doesn't mean that Guru snatches away the independence and those things. Guru will allow eventually, but with certain things. So that's the another thing. And then in the end, Prabhu, third thing I will tell, last third thing, how Krishna deals with us. Generally, generally Krishna want us to serve happily. And that's why many times Krishna coordinate his plan as per our guna and karma. Generally, I am saying because it's a loving devotional service. So generally, sometime Krishna may also support a devotee's plan. Okay, this devotee has certain guna and karma. He want to serve in this way. So Krishna may help him to build a project in that way. Krishna may help him to identify a seva where his guna and karma can very nicely grow. But ultimately, we have to go back to Godhead. And that's why Krishna, in order to reclaim if the devotee is deviating or doing like for example, one of the reason why Bharat Maharaj got attracted to deer was because of his guna and karma from previous. Because previously Bharat Maharaj guna and karma was to protect the citizens. The same protecting mentality came to deer also. So if Krishna feels that the guna and karma is making him more hold on to the material world, because identifying, first of all, it's identifying our guna and karma, identifying a certain seva, and that seva is within material world, so you start identifying the material world also. When Krishna feels, he may completely break that guna and karma, and as a sincere surrender devotee, a devotee would like to become a clay because that is needed to go back to Godhead. So Krishna may completely splash it out. But in general, for a surrendered devotee, in general, many a times Krishna coordinate with the guna and karma. Like there are many acharyas, there were many acharyas whom, if you see, that many acharyas have certain mood. Like I will say Sudama. Sudama has a mood. It is said that Sudama has one wish from Krishna. This is what one acharya writes. I think Harishwari or Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Sudama has a certain mood, life after life, not only in one life. Do you know what is that mood? Krishna, I don't want wealth. I want to serve you in poverty. I want to serve you in desperateness. And that's why Krishna, Haldar Maharaj was telling, whatever uh, whatever birth Sudama takes within this material world, he is always born poor. Like in Krishna Leela, he is Sudama. In Chaitanya Leela, he is Suklambar Brahmachari, who in that he is eating chipped that poha, and here he was eating chipped, sorry, broken rice. There it was poha. In Mahaprabhu's Leela, it is broken rice. Huh. So, so it is his mood, and Krishna is coordinating with his mood. Krishna is saying, okay, this is what instigate you to feel prema towards me when you are in poverty with gamcha, and kopin, and just begging. So then Krishna says, this is the way I will coordinate with you. Don't worry. But then with the Uddhav, he broke this guna and karma. With the Uddhav was a very knowledgeable person. You know, he is a very intellectual person. Krishna first of all broke it to by sending him to Braj. He wanted to give him something more. So that was more of a clay part, you can say. And then Uddhav, like other associates, want to be always with Krishna. When Krishna was wrapping the pastime, he wanted that like other associate, let me also go back to Krishna. But Krishna that time cut it. And Uddhav was feeling pain that time. Yes, but that was first. So even when Krishna break that natural tendency to for us to become something else, that is also for our good only, because he want to give something higher. But in general, Krishna also do like, and that's why in our devotee community also, in general, we should allow. In general, I'm saying we should give seva in such a way so that the guna and karma are meshed. But if if a if a devotee is flying too much, so then the feathers has to be cut. At that time, the guru may give certain instruction which may be completely against his guna and karma, and a devotee should be ready to undergo that clay part for the ultimate rectification. So the clay and seed ultimately belong to this world only. Both clay and seed is of this world only. So ultimately, Krishna correlate with the worldly situation, but many a times he has to break the worldly situation. I think it becomes. Yeah, I think this answer became the whole class. But you want to add anything, Prabhuji, please? Okay. So Hare Krishna. Yes, you're right, Prabhu. Yes. So that's why I told like this culture ki where a disciple tells his guna and karma. This is new. This is neo, just like they have started neo Buddhism. This is neo. So we can say that this is neo Vaishnavism or whatever. Where a person tells his guna and karma. This is never seen. You pick up through any history of Mahabharata Ramayana. You tell any one instance where a disciple went and told, Ki Guruji, this is my guna and karma. Never. This is, I think, new, and that's why it's creating problem. We should not tell. Yes. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय.
Who hears, he can speak also in language. So, so many wonderful principles: act, appreciation, cultivate and connect, and then transcend our target. So please remember the acronym and thank him by loudly chanting one time Hare Vishnu Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
I'm
Hare.
doing that. I think Abhishek Prabhu, first of all, Srila Prabhupada was about to give class. Then Abhishek Prabhu was about to give class. That, so I think a lot of breaking and what.